Okay, folks, I was going to make a detailed video about this, but frankly, I'm kind of over it. State that I'm currently at is I've replaced the filter on my Maytag, and the model number, as I will show in the description, it's an MKB8959SKZ, and then you can have either that followed by a 0, a 1, 2, or 3, depending on minor model changes. I guess they make some minor change somewhere. And so you can have like a 0, 1, 2, or 3, but this should apply to all of them. And this is when you may get like an E1F9 code, error code in your dishwasher. It's dirty. You know, you'd never get stuff clean because the filter internally, you can't get to under normal conditions. And this is what the filter looks like. And here's what was on it. It literally shredded itself. It's just a super fine. You can see how you can see through this stuff. This is a mesh, and it's super fine. I mean, it's cool to look at, but unfortunately, what they've done is they've taken the fine filter, and there's a coarse filter inside that little basket you can remove and feel good about. Like, oh look, the pee didn't go into my dishwasher's guts, and you can feel all happy about that. You know, or maybe a kernel of popcorn. But what that kernel of popcorn can do is get caught in this stupid thing here, which basically the motor, the main pump motor, spins. It spins this S-shaped thing doesn't move, but this foil cone in here, or cylinder, it rotates in here, and these stupid blades scrape gunk off of it, and then it rinses the gunk, and the gunk bypasses the filter and goes out into your drain or your garbage disposal, however you got it rigged up. And so what happens is over time this filter is wearing out, and more people are complaining about this, but the place that this filter is, and you can't get to it by opening the door of your washer. You notice mine's on its left-hand side. I'm going to be the rebel because everybody else is saying to flip it on the right-hand side, but it's on the left. So down underneath, you have, this is your main pump. Your main pump, and this is what I call the filter housing. And inside, you got a couple of, pieces of little connection, but ultimately, this goes up inside like this. This is my old one. I've got a brand new one. They cost, anywhere. You shouldn't pay, if you buy them like through Amazon, you shouldn't pay more than $70 for them plus tax. I paid, because I thought I was getting it quicker from my Maytag dealer, and it wasn't quicker. I paid like $115 plus tax, so it cost about $120. But one Maytag guy told me you can buy like this, all of this here for like $250, and this, my fix may not even work. That's the sad thing. But I think that this will fix it because it's worked for other people on YouTube, and God bless anybody who takes the time while they're in the middle of fixing it. I've made a whole bunch of little videos, and then I keep finding out where I've messed up, and I've erased them. So I'm doing one video here, and if I ever have to tear it apart again, I'll do a step-by-step. But this goes down in here. There is a weird, deep up in, like halfway in here, there's a washer that is just placed in there. It's easy to kind of forget to put it in. It's a spiral piece of metal made into a multi-layer washer. It's kind of a compression washer. And so there's some little ridges in here, and it sits up against that. And then this goes up against that. And then this, when you put it back together, you got to have this thing sitting on here, and you got to shove this in here. And you've got this whole bracket here with a shock mount or a shock absorber. And this, you may have to bend it out of the way, but what you can do is there's a little nubbin up in here, a little pin you can pull, and then this whole thing is a bracket, and it can slide out of the way and kind of get it out of your way. And that's helpful. Sorry about the fingers. You got to remember to unplug it too. Here's your power. I marked it. And the words are upside down because I was working on the other side. And now after, when I come back to putting this thing together, I finally wait a minute, I should have been on the other side this whole time, because to separate these two, you've got a T-20, see, T-20 Torx here, boom, pull this out, it's like an inch long. And then there's another one, 180 degrees, and you can get it from the top. Or you can go around to the front where your electric box is. There's a little, my fingers, this little tab, plastic tab here. If you push this tab in, this whole box will slide on these rails that they've constructed the frame from. They slide this box out of the way. That's your incoming power box. So to get this thing off, to get these separated, you got to pull those two Torx T-20 screws, and then this just kind of floats. Everything here kind of just flops and hangs. It's kind of interesting, this whole part here. And you know, if you say like, oh, I just pull all these hoses, these are proprietary clamps. These little things, try to find those if you can, other than buying them. And you take them off, and they're one-use clamps. And frankly, if I'm fixing this as many times as I think I might have to, I would just probably go to zip ties, you know, because we had this dishwasher for 4 years, and then the filter, probably at the 3.5-year mark, is when we started to notice the dishes weren't getting clean because the filter was probably getting torn. And then at a certain point, it just ripped loose and it bound up to the point where this motor couldn't function. It jammed the motor. And then it gives you a error code that indicates it's not draining, which has nothing to do with the motor. So I don't know if that's deception or if that's just idiocy. We're going to find out. But yeah, all these hose clamps, I mean, you can buy, you know, you could buy this whole unit in here, all this stuff. I don't know if it includes the motor, but yeah, for like twice the price of this one stupid filter that sits in here. So if you don't mind kind of busting your knuckles and cutting yourself on sharp edges, you can just, you know, take out 2 Torx screws, unplug the power, of course, and then pop this. It's got a square rubber vibration mount here, and I hope it stays in now. But, and then, yeah, you pop this off, clean all the gunk out, and some people have huge gunk buildup, and I didn't. Some people have wads of labels and crud, and I might have had some crud in my washer because, you know, basically unfiltered water was getting pumped through everything, and maybe my pump arms are all jammed up. I don't even know yet. I haven't gotten that far into the, you know, I've cleaned out as much as I can, but if it doesn't work right, then I'll have to go further. But, I mean, really, this is just ridiculous that they would put something like this. You know, it's so much better to be able to open up the door and then reach in and pull this thing out and, oh, clean it off or replace it, you know. But no, you got to have a technician come out, you know, 99% of the time. And our appliances are apparently designed to fail during the holidays. This went out a couple days before Christmas. So yeah, try to even get anybody out. And we would have probably paid money if we would have gotten somebody out here to, you know, do their little hourly thing and take it apart. And they would have replaced a ton of parts just to get this thing, because they don't want to screw with taking things apart. They just want to take it off and, you know, charge you for all your proprietary hardware. You know, and so this way, doing it this way, which is not my idea to do this. This is other, you know, I stand on the shoulders of giants who figured this out, you know, to take off just this part and get that pump, you know, without having to cut all these proprietary hose clamps. And there's like 1, 2, 3, you know. So really, a lot of the work was done for me ahead of time. So I'm going to put it back together. And like I said, if you have to do this to your washer, flop it on its left-hand side as you're facing it. You know, when you open it up, flop it, you know, to the left. And that way you've got better access to these two little, you got this Torx here. I mean, I was struggling, and I didn't even think about it until just now when I had to put the screw back in, deep in there. And I was like, wait a minute, I've been looking through this hole down here for a week, and now I've got the same kind of hole up here. Gives you much better access. But yeah, pull the motor off, pull out this, try to get all the wreckage out. I had shreds of this metal, this super fine mesh. It's like sheet metal. It's not like a screen of woven strands. It's pierced metal. And that stuff had been pumped all the way through the guts of the washer. I actually found pieces in my garbage disposal where the dishwasher empties out. So, you know, God knows what's still up in there, but I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes. But yeah, I'll be checking the comments. You know, this is a horrible video, and it's like all these videos I want to do. By the time I'm done with the project, I don't want to think about it anymore. So good luck. check the comments, and I'll see what's going on. Bye.